Hi friends, my name is Rebecca. I am an indie author of new adult fantasy and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I create videos to chronicle my journey as an indie author and to discuss all things writing, so if that sounds like your kind of thing, I'd love it if you could subscribe and follow along with me. We have officially reached the halfway point in the Pixie Chronicles and I'm so excited we have made it this far. Let's get started. This book is titled Clockwork, and as usual, let's start by breaking down what Clockwork is even about. Clockwork is a retelling of the Nutcracker, and it is the first book in the series not based after a traditional fairy tale, and I admit I am a little nervous about that. But I absolutely love the Nutcracker Ballet. It's such an enchanting story, and I really wanted to write something with wintry vibes. And as there aren't a lot of Nutcracker retellings out there, it just felt right, and I'm really happy I decided to stick with it. Like some of my other retellings, I definitely took quite a bit of liberties with my version. The Nutcracker is the type of story where there's a good number of interpretations of the source material, so I felt comfortable picking and choosing which elements called out to me the strongest. The location for Clockwork is one I'm really excited about, and it's a lot different than anything else I've ever really written. The setting for Clockwork is entirely artificial, meaning it's not set in the natural world at all. Instead, it is a society of sorts, but it's built entirely within a steam-powered airship called Cielito Lindo. Now, the creator of this airship originated from the country of Trisol, which you may remember is the setting for Crucible, so there is definitely still a strong Hispanic influence. That being said, it still has its own governing body and a culture completely unique to it. To be honest, I'm still working on hashing out the details, but I do know that this airship is big enough to carry its own entire city. There are streets and shops and homes, and of course, a castle of some sort for its rulers. One thing to note is that this airship does not ever land, at least as far as I have it currently worked out, so it doesn't have any official docking ports to get in and out of. Obviously, you can leave it, but interacting with others is really not something of any importance to its people. They are entirely self-sustained and they want to keep it that way. On to the cast of characters. A quick disclaimer, there are actually 2 other major players in this book, but unfortunately we're reaching the point in the series where I don't feel ready to reveal who they are. That's the problem with a series like this with characters who feature in multiple books, especially since I still don't have everything 100% plotted out. Still, I just thought I would mention it, but for now, we have plenty of lovable characters to discuss. First up, our primary protagonist is Tatiana, daughter of the ruler of Cielito Lindo. Whether this officially makes her a princess is up to interpretation, but if you know me, then you know that that's what I'm going to think of her as. Tatiana is bold and fearless, yet often feels trapped in her own life. She highly respects her mother and deeply seeks her approval, but this desire often conflicts with her deep-seated yearning to be her own person. Still, Tatiana is strong-willed and not prone to giving up easily. She craves freedom, and as such is always seeking new opportunities or information that might help give it to her. Tatiana has dark brown hair, hazel eyes, and medium skin. She's short with an athletic build. Up next is Princess Luna, daughter of the Grim Beast Queen. Luna is quiet, delicate, and observant. Despite her silence, her presence is powerful and all-encompassing. She does not seek to make waves, yet her mere existence readily disturbs the peace. Her natural inclination leans towards melancholy, and she prefers to be alone whenever possible. Luna is not unkind, yet it is rare she allows others into the personal workings of her life. Luna has pale skin, long black hair, and amber eyes. She is petite in both stature and build. Onward to Sugar Plum, who I unfortunately can't tell you too much about due to major spoilers. But what I can tell you is that Sugar Plum often greatly underestimates the power of her own magic. She is deeply passionate in everything she feels and experiences, and she often falls prey to her own imagination. Sugar Plum has dove gray hair, light blue eyes, and black skin. She's of average height with an average yet shapely build. And finally, we have the man merely known as the Clockmaker. If you are familiar with the Nutcracker story, then the Clockmaker takes the place of the Drosselmeyer character. He is highly esteemed in Cielito Lindo, and he carries a magic unlike any other. The Clockmaker is logical and shrewd, though he can still be kind and he is always soft-spoken. While not demanding, others are often drawn toward him, and he often can't help but be eager to take the spotlight. The Clockmaker is tall and thin, with light blue eyes, dark hair that has begun to fade to silver, and pale skin. Now we reach the part where I tell you more about the plot, and I hope it's not too vague. This was a difficult one for me to really sum up, which I kind of feel like happens a lot, but I tried my best and I hope you still like it. So here it is. Tatiana is more than ready for her arranged marriage with the princess of the Grim Beasts and end the war that has plagued her entire life. For too long, she has been shackled not only by her own body, but by the stern eye of her ever-watchful mother, and this is her chance to break free. But the Grim Beast princess carries a grievous secret, and on the eve of their wedding, a horrible tragedy strikes all within Cielito Lindo. In a whirlwind of death and betrayal, Tatiana is plunged into a realm of pure magic, where the bloodthirsty sugar plum fairy awaits. Yet as Tatiana struggles to escape, she uncovers a secret that shakes her very understanding of who she truly is. With her grasp of reality shattered, Tatiana must make a decision that could destroy all of Cielito Lindo and everyone within it. With her humanity on the line and the Grim Beast princess precariously holding her heart, Tatiana only has one chance to make her choice. And lastly, let's finish up with the status of the book. I have officially written an entire first draft for Clockwork of about 50,000 words. It was my NaNoWriMo project about 2 or 3 years ago. However, I have since scrapped about 80% of it. That draft was incredibly weak and pretty much fell apart for the entire second half leading up to the final climax. The characters in their world are basically the only thing that have truly stuck around. Everything else has been mostly changed in some way. I'm actually still working out all the kinks and plot holes of the outline, so I've yet to officially dive back into this book. Because I wanted to keep a classic wintry feel for it, I do think it would be a lot of fun to try and tackle this again during another NaNoWriMo, though I'm not entirely sure when that might be. I highly doubt I'll get to it this year, but maybe next year. So now we're officially halfway through the Pixie Chronicles. We have 4 books left, 3 of which I've barely begun planning, so that should be interesting. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again with another video very soon. Bye!